As India prepares for the 2027 elections, the stakes are highest in its most populous state, Uttar Pradesh. To understand the current landscape, you have to look at the political system that existed before 2017, a system that many believed was impossible to break. The first pillar of that era was dynastic concentration. Power wasn't just held by a leader, it was distributed across dozens of family members, from local blocks to the state cabinet. The second pillar was a rigid electoral math. Survival depended on the MY equation, a specific combination of caste and religious vote banks that dictated every policy decision. The final pillar was the normalization of the mafia. State-sponsored criminals operated with enough clout to call the shots from inside prison, often with the silent approval of the administration. By 2017, this environment was so entrenched that a standard politician would have likely been absorbed into the existing corruption. The state required someone who existed entirely outside that loop. After the BJP's landslide victory in 2017, Narendra Modi and Amit Shah faced a choice. They could try to manage the state's broken machinery, or they could attempt to dismantle it. They opted for a candidate whose identity canceled the three pillars of power. A monk renouncing family and caste shattered the first two pillars, breaking the traditional political math. To address the mafia, they needed a leader who survived establishment attacks, like the Azamgarh ambush. Yogi Adityanath provided the exact profile needed to execute this shift. This selection allowed the BJP to bypass the regional calculations that had defined Uttar Pradesh politics for decades. Despite this alignment, a common narrative suggests a deep internal conflict between Yogi Adityanath and the central leadership in Delhi. Public evidence suggests otherwise. Prime Minister Modi has repeatedly endorsed the Upyogi, or useful, brand, proving the chief minister is vital to his national governance model. Evidence of this support was visible during the 2022 swearing-in ceremony. The Central Party coordinated a massive event for over 100,000 people at Ekana Stadium, a scale usually reserved for national victories. While some parties suppress regional leaders to protect a central dynasty, the current BJP model seeks to empower them. It's a meritocratic approach designed to build a deep bench of leaders who have proven they can run large states. This makes the rumored rift look less like a reality and more like a misunderstanding of how the party functions. Yogi's standing is a direct result of the center's unified strategy. Today, the opposition is struggling to keep pace. While leaders like Akhilesh Yadav rely on occasional press conferences and inherited loyalty, the expectations of the average voter have moved forward. The most visible change is in the basic infrastructure. Villages that once settled for 10 hours of electricity now expect a 24/7 supply as a standard service. There has also been a shift in how the state handles recruitment. The massive cheating mafias that once controlled government exams were targeted and largely replaced by a stricter merit-based system. This has created a new psychological baseline in Uttar Pradesh. Safe streets and functional amenities are no longer seen as political favors. They are viewed as entitlements that any government must provide. In 2027, voters will be comparing this current stability against the possibility of returning to the previous era of administrative neglect. Ultimately, Yogi Adityanath's position depends on the voters' perception of him as a barrier against that old system. In a state that was once defined by its chaos, he remains the most significant obstacle to an opposition comeback.